Hello everyone, welcome to the training session for collecting and preparing data for use. We do have a couple of more people logging in, they're logging into Messenger, so if we just wait a couple more minutes before we start this, that would be great. So while you're just getting your things set up, maybe it would be a good idea if you open up your session 1 plan in your Word document. You can read along. You should be able to see exactly what I'm doing on the screen now, but it's also quite useful to have your own copy in front of you. That way we can take a look at the different learning objectives that we'll be covering today, and also if you've got any questions you can let me know along the way as well. Also, you'll need to make sure that you've got your audio set up to an appropriate volume so you can hear me through this. It could be a good idea as well to put your microphones on mute. That way we don't have any feedback coming through the system for other viewers today as well. Okay, so we might make a start. We've got everyone logged in now. Just quickly, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of the course, and welcome to the course too for those who have just joined us. Just to make sure that we're using our equipment correctly, could I just get you to take a look at your computer screens, make sure that they run parallel to the tops of your head. So the top of the computer screen should be completely opposite the top of your head, making sure that you've got your seats set up correctly, you're comfortable. If the room is warm, put the aircon on, and also make sure that your seats are ergonomically positioned too, just for OH&S. It is quite a short session today, so we will be going quite fast. Really the purpose of the session is just to give you a little bit of a rundown about what data is, the different forms of data, and also how it's collected. So we're not taking a look at any manipulation of data in this session. We'll take a look at that at session 2 this afternoon, and we'll take a look at the different ways that you can manipulate that data, as well as forwarding that data onto senior management. In terms of the learners that are here today, I just wanted to say thank you very much for logging in. Now, a lot of you don't have a tremendous amount of experience in the workforce. You're quite young. A lot of you are just out of school. Excuse me. And you're looking at getting a little bit of a rundown about the practicalities of working potentially in administration. Some of you are quite familiar with IT systems and also forms of social media like Facebook and Twitter. That's excellent. That'll help you out with this course as well. But some of you too are a little bit unaware of the type of roles that exist in administration and the importance of understanding data and using that data effectively. So in terms of today, what we'll take a look at, well, what are data? What exactly is it, or plural they? What's data all about? What are some different sources of data? We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the different ways that data and information is collected. The specific ways of collecting data, and how to collect data appropriately. So that is, if you've got a purpose of collecting data, what is it? The forms of data, is that appropriate for what you're doing, and is the data going to be consistently giving you the information that you require, so the validity and the reliability of that data as well. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at some comment analysis techniques. We won't do those techniques, I'll just run by those quickly, but also predominantly using Microsoft Excel. That tends to be the most common program used to analyse data. We do have some other statistical programs as well. We do have the statistical package for social scientists. That tends to be more along the research side of things, particularly if you've did undergraduate degrees, maybe in science, psychology, social science, those type of areas. But we'll just be taking a look at Excel today. Most importantly, we'll be taking a look at how you are meant to be, if you assess data, assessing data in a logical format, being consistent, being systematic with your approach to data, and we'll also take a look at ensuring that your data is correct, cross-checking, making sure that things are correct and above board before you forward that onto management, which we also address in session 2. So before we start, does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask me? No, nothing? Okay, alright, excellent. So we'll make a start. So probably the most important question to start off with is, what are data? What exactly is it? I mean, the term data seems to be used quite frequently in the workforce. But what are the different types of data, and what data would be most important for working in an administration or a data management position? Well, probably the easiest definition of data would be that data is a collection of facts such as numbers or words, measurements, observations, or even just descriptions of things. So data is pretty much everything. So anything could really be transformed into data. That is things like the average times that people run in a race, or the number of people who line up to purchase a coffee at a coffee shop, or the percentage of vehicles that were held up due to a car crash on Sydney roads last week. All this is a form of data. It could be averaged, it could be manipulated. The most common forms of data tend to be quantitative data, but we also have something which is called qualitative data too, which is becoming more and more common. So data, hopefully this image is coming through at your end. If it's not, please let me know. So data, as I mentioned, we have two different forms of data, qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative data is things like descriptions, or things which cannot be categorised discretely or continuously in numbers. So things like, it was great fun going to the beach yesterday, or statements. Quotations is a form of qualitative data as well. If you listen back to this recording that I'm playing today for you, that could be categorised as qualitative data as well. However, the average time that the recording runs for is quantitative. In terms of quantitative data, as I mentioned earlier, we have discrete and continuous forms of data. Data that is discrete is pretty much things like whole numbers. Discrete data cannot be put into a decimal. It's not a fraction. It's a whole number. So things like individual numbers, number 5, number 6, number 7 are discrete. But numbers which are not whole, numbers like 3.2 or numbers 5.7, 6.5, 10.5. They're all continuous, and they're continuous because they can run for infinity. So the number 3.265 would be repeated continuously as 3.265, 265, 265, 265 to infinity. They're continuous numbers in a sequence. Okay, so here's a bit of a chance for you to talk to me. Now, I'm not sure whether this will come through the recording. I hope it does. Um, uh, Maybe you could take a little bit of time to talk amongst yourselves, either through the messenger, which you guys can see, or speak into your microphone so I can hear you through my ear. Can you think of some examples of quantitative data and qualitative data? Have a little bit of a chat about that for about a minute, and then I will come back to you.